I'd like to tell you about a unique study that I conducted, the original purpose of which was to find definitive answers to certain questions about the psychology of female-to-male attraction. Some of what I discovered really astounded me and led me to valuable new insights for men who want to attract and successfully date the women of their choice. But I also gained a fuller understanding of why women so often have difficulty choosing and keeping the right men. Why some women always seem to end up with guys who treat them like garbage or break their hearts, and why others end up in phenomenal relationships. Over a period of 3 years, I conducted extensive interviews with approximately 500 women from many parts of the world, women from every continent and every region of the United States. In the interviews, I asked the participants about their personal experiences and perspectives on the subject of dating and attraction. The questions that I posed dealt with how a man should handle every step in the process of getting into a relationship, from presenting himself the right way online, to approaching and initiating a first interaction with a woman, regardless of where he encounters her, to having a fantastic first date and second date, etc. During each session, I also had the participants look at a wide variety of men's online dating profiles. I asked hundreds of women to view the same selections of profiles, and I observed their reactions and asked them why they reacted the way they did to individual sentences, word choices, and photos. Many of the participants also allowed me to observe and question them about some of their own activity and interactions with men on the dating sites and mobile dating apps that they personally use. When I began the project, I had already spent years studying male-female dynamics. I had read hundreds of books and psychological studies, but there were certain questions that I felt no one had ever adequately answered. And I knew that simply asking a woman what she likes and doesn't like when it comes to men is not necessarily going to yield information that will be very useful. One thing I had to do was make the participants feel comfortable revealing things that they normally wouldn't reveal.
Oh, now you want me to let out the secrets. Okay,
I've never said this out loud.
This is gonna sound so crazy.
fine, pull it out of me.
Now, another thing I did during the interviews was look for any discrepancies between the types of behaviors and qualities the women said they found attractive in men and the actual behaviors of men from their past whom the women became involved with or wanted to become involved with. I found out as much as I could about the women's dating histories and about their initial interactions with men they chose to date or not to date, and the ways those men first presented themselves, either online or in person. Some women even consented to undergo hypnosis to recall details and explore things on a deeper level. In many cases, participants came away from the interviews with a new self-awareness and a new understanding of the factors that lead them to make certain choices when it comes to relationships.
The thing is, I do think it's a little unconscious. Now that I'm talking about this with you, I'm like, whoa, was I thinking about all that? I don't think I was, but I was doing it at the time.
This is cool. I like it. I'm learning about myself through this, you know? Because I don't even take the time to sit and think about these things on my own.
One of the things that I learned from hearing so many women talk about their experiences with the various dating sites they had tried is which sites and which strategies will be best for a woman depending on what she's looking for. And of course, I acquired a wealth of knowledge about the things that men need to do and avoid doing in order to get fantastic results with online dating. Now, when it comes to online dating, one of the reasons why women often get poor results is that they don't highlight the parts of their personalities that are most attractive to men. And they often make the mistake of saying things that are meant to discourage undesirable men from contacting them, which typically backfires and turns off the types of men that the women would most want to meet. One of the biggest mistakes that men make, apart from bragging and failing to demonstrate a sense of humor, is posting photos in which their eyes do not communicate the right messages.
It's all in the eyes, you know.
I agree with that.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, I also gained a fuller understanding of the reasons why women often have so much difficulty choosing the right men. In many cases, the reason has to do with the question that so many women ask themselves right from the start. Before agreeing to meet up with a man or go on a second date with him, many women, even very young women who are not yet thinking about settling down, will ask themselves, does this guy have the potential to be the one? The man whom I would want to spend the rest of my life with? And they will try to figure out everything about the guy and about the kind of person he is without having spent any real time communicating with him, or communicating in the right way. And women are so inclined to believe that they have the ability to make accurate assessments about the qualities a man possesses right from the outset. But ladies, the truth is, you don't. I can show a man's online dating profile to 5 randomly selected women and get 5 very different opinions as to the kind of person he is, and each woman will be quite certain that she is correct. Now, men also get tripped up by the first question they typically ask themselves with regard to women, which I'll get to momentarily. But apart from starting off with the wrong question, a related mistake that women often make is that they confuse immediate chemistry with long-term compatibility. Women will often choose a man who comes off as super confident, charismatic, powerful, smooth, the kind who can immediately make the woman laugh or make her feel a sense of excitement. But the men who are most adept at causing women to feel that strong chemistry very quickly are usually working their mojo on different women every day. They're not likely to stick around very long. And if they do, they're probably not going to be faithful, and they may not treat their partner particularly well. They're players and con artists, and sometimes dangerous sociopaths. Of course, there are exceptions. I teach lots of men how to have that kind of immediate effect on women, and many of those men are wonderful human beings looking for a monogamous relationship. But the way a man makes a woman feel right out of the gate is not a reliable predictor of whether he would be right for her in the long run. Now, one of the problems men have is that they also typically ask themselves the wrong question right from the get-go. The primary question that men tend to ask themselves on a first date, or when they first approach a woman they find really attractive, is how can I get her to like me? How can I get her to be attracted to me and want to date me or continue dating me? That's because most men are operating from a feeling of scarcity and a fear of rejection. But unfortunately, when a man is asking himself what he needs to say or do in the moment to get the reaction he wants, he's turning the woman off. He's projecting a needy energy, and he's not able to be fully present and tuned in to the woman. Now, at the root of the types of self-sabotaging mental activity I've been describing, and of almost all the problems that men and women encounter when it comes to dating and relationships, is fear. So what's the solution? Well, it's not about trying to overcome your fears or struggle against them. And for men, it's not about working on your inner game and psyching yourself up and telling yourself what a glorious specimen you are. For both men and women, it's about gaining the kind of understanding that causes the fears to dissolve. And when that happens, a whole universe of opportunities opens up, not just with regard to dating and relationships, but with other important aspects of life as well. And the good news is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel and try to figure out how to do any of this stuff on your own. I'm here to help you save what could be many years of frustration and wasted time. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to speaking with you.